Had a great holidays. I know I've been away from streaming for a little bit due to the vacation and such, but today we're gonna have a nice one. Loki says hello as well. He's over here. Maybe let me see if I can find this here for us. Just the face. Loki wants to play with this Kong toy, but unfortunately it's kind of chewed up already. He almost got it. But hey, everybody, hope you guys all had a good day. I'm going to be moving something very fast on my end just to make sure my connection is okay with YouTube. And I think it is. I think we're good to go. Let me see. Double checking. There we go. Okay. Oh, it looks like my phone or my Woody call is doing something. My camera's doing something. I think we should be okay, though. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the mess. They still haven't cleaned up my place yet. I'm waiting for, actually the insurance money has gone through now. They're just waiting for the people to have a schedule and fix up my place, which is going to be pretty nice. But it's still been a pretty busy holiday, so sorry about that. I'm pretty sure I'll have my floor and stuff redone soon enough. I really hope so, because they've already done part of it, just not the whole thing. But anyway, guys, let's talk about crypto, what's going on, ETF news, updates, and all that type of stuff. I'm also going to do a brief period talking about MEXC, as some of you guys have been asking me. Hey, Michael, I know it's the holidays, sorry to bother you, but I've been hearing a lot of things about the MEXC exchange. Should I still be putting my money inside of it? Should I not? And I think it's going to be important to kind of talk about that just a little bit too. Nothing too crazy, but I think it's going to be a pretty nice day. Overall, guys, as we kind of look forward to the next few weeks, it really is all about the Bitcoin spot ETF. That's going to suck all the oxygen out of the room, and I think that's going to be a good thing because to me, that leads us to more bullish news than bearish news, right? And hey, Trev, happy to see you back. Happy holidays as well. And hey, Mr. G, hope you're doing well. I know, right? I knew I was going to start streaming today, especially since I've been on vacation the last week and a half or something like that. Vegas was absolutely awesome. I ended up walking away with more money gambling, so I made a profit off of gambling, which is something I rarely ever do on Vegas, so I feel really happy about that. Overall, I still lost money on the trip because, first class flight, a whole week at a resort can kind of cost a little bit of money, but I'm still pretty happy with the way the vacation ended up going. All right, so just a quick overview, everybody. When we're looking at Bitcoin and we're kind of zoomed out right now, I know on the daily and the 4-hour and the 1-hour charts, everything's kind of all over the place. There's a lot more bearish activity there. But on the weekly charts here, we're still looking okay. And I want you guys to understand that. So far, we got the MACD and the stochastics all looking good. I can even pop up the RSI here. RSI is about to turn negative, just like the stochastic. And so that's kind of a warning sign, which is why the video is talking about warning signs here. But overall, I think we're in a decent spot here. We're nowhere near the 20-week moving average. We're nowhere near the 50-week moving average, and we're really nowhere near the 200-weekly moving averages. So anything about those support levels having anything to do with us right now, don't have to worry about it. Those extreme levels of volatility, while incoming, they're not going to be crazy. The volatility that we're expecting is going to be more likely coming from the daily moving averages here. You guys see the 20 and the 50 here. My main concern over the next few weeks is basically that we're just going to have a death cross, and that death cross is probably going to bring us back down below this last level of support, which is around $40,229, and it brings us back down towards $37,000, or excuse me, $39,000. And I'm hoping that the news as far as the spot Bitcoin ETF will happen before the new year, or will happen in the first week of January. That's a better way to put it, because you guys can see that death cross kind of mounting. It's coming. It's going to happen sometime end of December, early January. And I am kind of concerned about that, specifically because when we do have these moves, usually the price action has already fallen down a little bit by then. So when we go look at the previous ones, you guys can see a death cross here. It had already been moving down for a while before that death cross happened, and of course went down, moved down a little bit. Death cross kept on coming down. This one, I don't really put too much stock in just because it was the banking crisis, and that was its own weird little thing because not crypto exchanges, but regular banks were going down. And here's one right here. This one was a little bit interesting just because of what happened with FTX, so I kind of But overall, when I usually see these happening, usually not a good sign for the market, and I'm going to kind of stick with that here. Not enough to make us come all the way back down to 27,000, nothing like that. Just enough to bring us back down here to humble us a tad. And I'm hoping that we don't really break down below the 38,000 if that's as bad as things get, because again, we still, if you look at that weekly chart, we still have the momentum, we still have the news on our side. Everybody is just waiting to see that big move here. Now, on the daily chart, I talked to you guys about this while in Vegas. And I was just saying, hey, be careful, watch out for what's happening. And I think I specifically talked about the 4-hour chart. I'll talk about the 4-hour chart here in general. We have seen the oscillators just kind of go a little bit more bearish. We haven't seen it really pan out so much. I would just say we're lucky that all we've really done is gone sideways here. And anytime Bitcoin's going sideways, I actually don't mind that. I think of that just pure consolidation. We're in an uptrend, consolidation, breakout eventually. Buy the breakout. You guys will be very happy you did. This time, most people are not going to be buying the breakout, or if they are, they're going to be doing it in a different way, I would say. I'm going to be looking to accumulate down at these levels for crypto assets, just because whenever that Bitcoin spot ETF news comes out, the move is going to be so fast, so rapid, that again, if you guys are just not at your computers or your phones, it's just going to be hard to make those trades properly with the stop losses and price targets that you're going to need to know ahead of time, usually, just to make that profit, okay? But I'm just watching that death cross here bit by bit. 4-hour chart, I think I made a video about this the other day on the channel. Let me double check for you guys. I'm going to try to pump out some more videos here pretty soon, like daily. I got quite a bit of them. I'm just getting back into the routine of working. Videos. I put out a video today talking about Solana. I did a day trade of Solana. I'm not entirely sure how it's doing, but I bought it basically as it was going over the 20 moving average after the had moved down. 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart, excuse me. But you guys know how I feel about day trading and stuff. Yeah, so just your simple trade, buy right here, sell right here. In this case, I sold right in this zone, so I pretty much sold right there. It could definitely consolidate and go higher, but you guys know my feeling about scalping. I just want to get in, get out, excuse me. All right, but we'll talk about Solana here in a little bit. If you guys have questions on tokens, feel free to let me know. Let me go back over here very fast. But one of the things I talked about was, yeah, Solana grinds higher while Bitcoin sits up for a larger move. And I was basically talking about the 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart made us wait a very long time. I think I was talking with Canigula about this. And basically, moving a MACD bearish, stochastic bearish, and it took us a while before it actually came back down. Most of the people that are taking these small shorts right now, they're not really expecting us to come all the way back down here unless they're very, very aggressive about it. For me, these small moves from up here to down here, next level of support basically, that's how I want to be trading any types of multi-day trades at this point. One of the things I want you guys just to be aware of, just like with the daily moving averages, we do have to worry about these moving averages on the 4-hour chart. And we've already had a death cross here. The last one didn't really do anything negative. That's not my point here. The big thing is here, the 200. We haven't really come into contact with it a lot. We came close over here, but eventually we broke out, kept on going. It doesn't feel like we're going to just break out all of a sudden over the next 24 to 48 hours. Maybe we get some good news, something like that. But it feels like we're going to come into contact with this. And the last time we did was way back over here. And it was kind of a level of support for us. All right. So I'm kind of watching a little bit closely. I'm really hoping it doesn't really cause us much chaos here. Sometimes there could be a lot of volatility, especially when we're at a level of resistance. This is probably more of what we're looking at, some type of crazy drop, but not like too crazy. This kind of symbolizes this is going back down to $38,000 for Bitcoin, if you will. So when I'm seeing this, it makes me a little bit more concerned on the bearish side. I'm still okay with it. I don't think there's any main crash happening. But again, just to point it out, if we did go from where we are now back to 38,000, let's just go 38,500. That's about a 4,000 drop for Bitcoin. Well, we've had that happen a few times so far over this crazy cycle. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but just make sure you guys are protecting any type of shorter term trades that you guys are going to be looking at, because I'm going to be using a springboard effect like that to be looking to buy more cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin in and of itself, I don't actually think is in too much danger of having one of those 20% drops, something like that. That's more of an altcoin thing. And then speaking of the altcoins, there's a few of them that are actually looking pretty good. So here's Ethereum. I think this one's fine. It's kind of bouncing off of support right now. The golden cross happened a few weeks ago. I'm patiently just waiting to see what happens here. I own it. I'm not really buying more into it, but I'm excited to see which way it goes. If I trade this, it will not be a swing trade. It will be more of a day trade or a 1 to 2 day trade. Nothing like as far as weeks like my normal swings are concerned. 4-hour chart here, bearish, just turning bullish. I'm basically waiting to see what happens. We did bounce off of the order block already, and I did miss the opportunity to buy, but I'm kind of just giving this maybe another day before I buy a lot of these altcoins, just because I'm looking at all these death crosses kind of incoming, and I'm like, please, for heaven's sakes, let's not do that. That'd be very, very miserable here. Let's go back over to the dailies here. ADA consolidating at a major level of resistance. Not bad, but I'm not going to be buying this right now. Dogecoin consolidating, coming down with these lower highs. Nothing crazy. Still not going to be buying a lot of these things here. I'm hoping that we might have just 1 or 2 more days of flushing out, and that's when I want to buy. You can see AMP right here just barely breaking down below the 20-day moving average. This could be a pretty nice dump day for them. They're already down a little bit more than other tokens at the moment, but I'm basically just saying, hey, I think we might come down a little bit longer. If you're kind of breaking everything down into one like soup, my soup is basically saying, we might come down a little bit more. I don't want to take an opportunity to buy right now unless I'm doing some type of dollar cost averaging where I'm buying like $100 today, $100 tomorrow, and $100 the next day, and then then I'll wait to see what happens later on. But for me, I think I can wait a little bit longer. Ape token here, same type of concept at a level of resistance, just consolidating. Golden cross is happening, which is pretty nice, but the daily moving averages are kind of all over the place. However, I will say we are looking for a golden cross. This is probably one of my big YOLO plays right now as far as what I want to be holding for the next few months. Ape token is something I'm hoping that will actually do very well. I hope it just pumps up sooner rather than later. Things like Arbitrum, see how they popped up pretty fast. They're coming back down now. The big one here that everybody's been talking about over the last 2 weeks has been Bonk, and then we'll go over to Solana. This is one right here where I know we don't have as much price action as we might like. However, it is starting to break down below some of these moving averages. The 1 hour chart, I think, gives a little bit of a better job here. You can see some of those bearish moves here, bearish, bearish, boom, bearish, bearish, boom. You didn't really get you got the stochastic bearish up here, but I want to have 2 at least plus change of character. So that was a nice day trade there. Those day trades are usually pretty good. Swing trades, again, a little bit more unreliable in my opinion, just because this thing can really turn around on the positive side or the negative side in a hurry. But this thing seems to be dying down quite a bit, and you're going to see an opportunity to buy this, I would say, over the next day or so. Again, kind of matching up with what we've been talking about overall. Last one here I just wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown into is, or actually 2 of them. Spell token. Remember we bought this, and I was just saying I think it's going to go up a little bit, but let's see what happens. So we bought it right here. It's been kind of going more sideways in the scheme of things. It finally had that breakout. I own some Spell token. I saw it boom up on my account. I didn't sell it. Maybe I should have in hindsight. I'll be kind of watching this one closely. I'm just hoping that it could actually have the larger breakout here and go higher because it is a smaller market cap. So, Spell. Okay, what went there? No, I might be spelling it wrong. SPLL. There it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the market cap is 73 million, so a very high risk, low market cap token. I have a decent amount of money in here, just a few $100. I'm hoping that this can actually have a larger move down the road, and that's why I'm not selling anything just yet, but I'm kind of keeping an eye on it, just so you guys know. And then lastly, Solana over here right above Spell token. This one's been great. I've been seeing it pumped up a lot on my Twitter feed or my X feed. It's been a lot of people talking about Solana. Merry Christmas, by the way. Go buy Solana. All types of crazy stuff like that, right? At this point in time, I think I told you guys, actually in the same video as before, Solana grinds higher, and that was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. I told you guys I was selling off a large portion of my Solana. I never bought it down here when it got really, really low because I wasn't really a believer of Solana. And at some point, I'm still kind of skeptical of it. But just the fact that it managed to hold and kind of survive, I was buying up more Solana kind of around here. I used some of the profits I made by shorting Luna from like 104 to like 15 cents or something. I made a lot of profit off of that. So at this point, think of an average kind of around the realm of $25, not the average down here of like $8. That'd have been crazy. I wish I got those levels, but I did not. Let me go over here to the daily chart. I really sold off Sunday, Monday, 2 days ago. I think it was this day. I don't think I caught the very top, but I sold off a good like 50-60% chunk on December 24th. I'm happy with those results. I think Solana may even go higher. You guys know with my luck as far as trading, I usually sell a tad too early. But the way I've been looking at it, especially when you see this larger order block up here, you know, and I see the stochastic starting to play games with me a little bit, get a little more bearish, even though the MACD is still going strong, I decided just to take a little bit of profit. You see the stochastic coming down a little bit over here. You see the MACD getting weaker just a little bit, nothing crazy. To me, it was a good opportunity to sell. Somebody probably bought all my Solana. Well, somebody did buy all the Solana I sold off on the marketplace, and I'm hoping they can get this back up to maybe 140 or something like that. You know, we'll see. But for me, I enjoyed the run. I have about like 30% left of my Solana. I'll see where that goes, but I'm probably not going to touch it for at least another 5-6 months here until Bitcoin starts reaching some all-time highs, and then I'll see where Solana goes. My concern with Solana, which is not a very big one, I would say most people would probably dismiss it, rightfully so. I'm just hoping it doesn't peak too soon, and then eventually when the bull market's going, Solana is kind of going slow, and then maybe it pumps up, maybe it doesn't. I've seen that happen a few times before. I don't necessarily think it'll happen here. That's just my concern, and I don't even think it's a really big one. But you know, if you guys were to ask me, that's probably it. But it's not stopping me from still holding Solana, right? Okay, now I'll answer some of you guys' questions. We could have a chat. You guys could ask me about anything going on, Christmas, holidays, Vegas trip, which was fun. I spent a lot of money on the Vegas trip, a lot on fine dining. It was wild. And then we could talk about any of the coins or stocks that you guys want to check out, all of that stuff. Just bear with me. I'm using some older glasses because I actually broke my other glasses a couple days ago, and these glasses are like very, very old. I think these are from my high school days, so everything's not going to be as crystal clear as it normally is until I get my new glasses. I just ordered them this morning, but they won't come here for like a week or something because it's holidays. All right, let's see. And hey, Mattis, happy to see you back. Why you buy Solana now? Should you buy Solana when it was under $10? There's different ways of buying it. If you watch the video, I was only buying it because it was a day trade, a scalp primarily. And usually when you see a cryptocurrency drop and crash, so to speak, whenever it gets back above the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart, that's usually when I like to go buy in for a scalp. You can even see Bitcoin right here. Let's see. We really didn't have a big crash today. It was kind of this multi-step thing. I mean, still, there's two examples I would say. This is one where it didn't work out. Here's one where it did work out. So you see right here, broke above the 20 moving average. It went a little bit higher, but not a lot. So you probably wouldn't have made a large profit off of this. This one over here, you had a little bit more better, change your character, plus the oscillators all kind of pointing in your way. This is something that I'd be more likely to buy into. Also because you've dropped down so much more. This initial crash right here didn't really feel so crashy to me. Two reasons why. It was happening in the middle of the night when I wasn't awake. This one was actually in the morning time when I was awake. But this isn't, how do I do this? I show you guys. We didn't really pop off of that support level. This is more of the support level I was looking at here. But again, you could have, like with my methodology, you could have taken both of these. Although I would say on this one, you probably would have to be looking at the 5-minute chart to be watching that change of character, which would have made you buy right here instead of right here. A little bit more iffy. But for the one in Solana in particular, there you go. Buy, break above the 20, day trade up to the level of resistance. It went a little bit higher than the level of resistance, but to me, I just get in and out as fast as possible. And this trade, even though, you know, it was it was still a 2.5-hour trade. So if you're talking about long-term buying Solana, I didn't buy Solana at $9 because I didn't want to buy it at $9. There was so much chaos going around that sucker. It would have been a poor investment. I think I tossed in maybe a few bucks when it was low, and by few I mean like $200, not enough for me to consider a formal trade of endorsement. Because back then when it was happening, I told you guys I'm not going to be buying it. I'm not going to be going all in and doing all types of stuff. What I told you guys is, hey, if it stabilizes and it comes back to life a little bit, I'll take a look at it. I took a look at it, but I bought it around $20 to $25, not at $9, not at $10. That's not my type of style here. I work too hard for my money to risk it on too much stuff. Because remember, it was all attached to Luna at the time, USTD, UST, I think it was, yeah. And Do Kwon, that's a mess I did not want to tangle with. Especially when there's a lot of other altcoins that have made me more money than Solana. I think Solana's probably only made about 1,000% if you were bought at the bottom. I think about 1,000%. And hey, Kenzie, happy to see you back. Whoever is selling their Bitcoin before the ETF approval or denial is nuts. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason that, I mean, it's been a pretty basic trend on the channel about like every time people try to short Bitcoin back down, even if the technicals are screaming sell, it'll be a sell for a short amount of time, don't get me wrong. But it's usually been an opportunity for everybody to buy more on those larger dips, because every time you see somebody come in and try to short Bitcoin on those larger moves, they end up getting annihilated, and nothing's been able to change that. I would say right now Bitcoin is the weakest it's been for a while, because we have had this longer term neutral trend, let's just call it that, and the bearishness is really starting to show. But you know, again, what, in about a week, 2 weeks, we're gonna know what's the point of selling off now. There really is no point. Most people are just going to be looking to trade and hold. For me, I'm not even looking at buying so much Bitcoin here. I'm really looking at just buying lots of altcoins. Now I know Bitcoin did come down today. Let me open up. Hold on, let me log into this account. There you go. You guys know I'm just kind of loading up on some altcoins, some good, some bad, just to kind of see where they go. Well, so far we have a mixed bag here. The goal is not to sell these for like at least until July though. Just keep that in mind. Oh, I forget how I gotta zoom in here quite a bit. So my balance right now, as far as what I can actually put into this account, is only 225. I'm gonna put another 500 bucks into this account on Wednesday or Thursday. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'll put it on there on Thursday then, because I got to do some other stuff first. But basically, I'll put another 500 bucks in there. We'll invest another $500 to $400 in here, and you can see how things have been. When I don't believe in something, there's probably going to be less money in there, and if I'm more optimistic about it, just doing my normal, research as far as how's the community, how's it been performing in the past, what's social media like, that type of stuff, I'll usually put more money into it. But it really just depends. So you're going to see stuff that's like down 31%, but the amount of money behind it's very small. And that's what I did with Bonk, because Bonk had already moved up so high. Why would I ever buy? Why would I ever buy into it at such high prices? You got AMP, which is up 9%. Ape is down 20%. I'm still holding this one for a long time. Bitcoin is down 11%. Seller, I don't know how you pronounce that one, is up 26%. Front is up 21%. And just so you can see, I bought Front on 12.16. So I've been holding these for quite a bit of time. And you can see some are working out, some are not. Ape token was bought on 12.09. So again, holding it for a while. Some are up, some are not. Lever, these are all 2x leverages, by the way, except for Bitcoin, which is a 3x leverage. Yeah. Lever is up 80%, which is pretty nice here. I bought this one on 12.16. So a little bit later than that. Let's check out the lever chart here. That'd be why. If I wasn't holding this for a very long time, I would honestly say I would sell this. All right. My price action when I bought this here was 12. What did I say? 12.16. Yeah, I bought it during this boring zone. 12.16. It took a while. It went down for a while, and then it popped up. So yeah, things like that. Sometimes they work out. If you guys own this, I'd probably be selling it right now. But again, this is a longer term portfolio, and I'm not going to be swayed too much by the fluctuations. If this was my personal account, and not a longer term account, I might even I might sell some off now, then buy it back later. But I actually haven't had enough time to accumulate as much of this as I would like to, because I like to split it apart over the week. But yeah, so that is something interesting right there. Anything else here? Meme is down 13%. Not everything's a winner. OGN is up 3.5%. Not much. Reef is up 28%. SLP is up 18%. And we have STMX here, one of my darlings. It's down 5% or 4.61%. I'm going to keep on adding a lot of money to this one because I believe in it. But I accidentally sold it a while ago with Loki's help here. But I think I'll be fine with it. Gonna keep on adding more to that bag. Well, I guess not a bag so much, it's just I want to own more of it. There we go. What are my thoughts about the first ever golden cross on Bitcoin 1 week chart? Should happen around January 8th. And to me, it doesn't really mean too much just because we don't really have a historical context of what that means to me. So normally, to me, now let's go over here. To get the price action concepts, let's make this larger. So it's going to be interesting, but like, you know, when we had our first death cross, I was much more bearish, and I'm kind of learning from that now, because I was like, okay, well, we have a death cross here, something really bad should happen. The only bad thing that happened was a banking crisis, and I don't think that was the fault of the death cross there. So to me, it doesn't really matter all too much. Just like when we had this golden cross right here, after it happened, nothing really happened on the positive side. The death cross that happened right here, maybe a slight move down, but nothing bad. The golden cross here, then it made some sense, but not much has been happening with these weekly moving averages here. Normally, the ones that we focus on are going to be the 20 and the 50 because there's some real good data behind it. So 20 and 50 here, you buy the cross, whoa, it went up. Sell the cross, whoa, it went down. Buy the cross, oh my gosh, it went up. Sell the cross here, I don't know because this was COVID, so I kind of have to cross out and say, I don't really know. Buy, it went up a little bit, but not much higher. Sell, when it went down. Buy, wow, look at that big move. Sell, wow, look at that big move. That 20 and 50 have been the really good ones. I think as far as how we use the 200 in the future, I just don't know what's going to happen here, so I'm not putting too much stock into it right now. If we have another death cross between the 20 and the 50, to me, that's going to symbol a much more bearish move going forward. And, you know, we've already had the breakout. A lot of good stuff has already happened, but I just don't know, Andy, if it's going to really mean anything. Because the last time we've really interacted with the 200, it really hasn't meant so much in the past. Even when it comes to the 50, the 20, right? We had the 20 cross down below the 200. It didn't really do anything. What that was FTX. So again, it's just, there's been too many variables for me to really say like, hey, I think this is going to be a really big thing. Even so, I think one that maybe you guys might like is moving average simple, I guess is what it is now. Let me just test something here very fast, guys. Sorry, 20. Yeah, why did they do that? So I've been using charts on TradingView for so long, but it looks like they got rid of moving average, even though it's on my charts, and they replaced it with simple moving average. Exactly the same thing according to TradingView, but now if I add the new ones on, I can have the old moving averages and the new moving averages here all the same. All right, so what I would say is I would actually look at the 100 weekly moving average. So let me make this a little bit thicker. We don't really talk about this too much beyond a buying zone and a selling zone for bullish and bearish markets. So whenever historically we get down below this level, I'm usually doing a lot more active long-term buying, dollar cost averaging. Andy, I'm really going like buy. You know, it's like tenfold buying at that point once you hit that moment. You know, sometimes we drop down way below it. Sometimes we just go down right here. But those accumulation zones are usually something I really like. We had a long accumulation zone here, a very, very long one. Now, if I were to add these moving averages back on here, then we're starting to come back above the 20, the 50, and the 200, all kind of interchanging with that 100. So I'm going to take off the 200 here because I don't really care about it all too much. And then I start looking for characteristics here, right? Then I start looking to see what happens when the 50 crosses above the 100, 50 crossing above the 100. To me, that's more of a bullish statement because I've seen it happen a lot of times before. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're looking really good. Oh, boom, we're looking really good. Go back over here. Actually, didn't cross back over here, but you can imagine it crossed somewhere around there. Then it kind of went wonky, but overall, still in a good direction. So, you know, for me, the 200, it's nothing important now. But that bullish move that I think you're looking for, I would kind of focus more on the 100 weekly moving average. And even here, you can see the 20 week actually. Right there, crossed over, kept on going up higher. As soon as we crossed down below it, it went down quite a bit. 20 and the 200 right here. This one didn't really do anything because it wasn't going to all-time highs. This was kind of that mid-pump thing. Over here, didn't really do much over here on the other side too. So maybe something more of a recent one. Over here did something. it looks like this going into the halving makes a little bit more sense than just the actual sideways movements of Bitcoin. So probably not even as good, but that's why, you know, we don't really talk about the 100. Usually for me it's the 20, 50, and 200, but I would say overall, kind of summing all together, I don't think it's going to mean too much here. What I think will happen is you will see a lot of YouTubers talk about it quite a bit. I'm sure you're going to see somebody taking like, oh my God, this is the first golden cross on Bitcoin for this. I made the same videos maybe a few months ago when we were talking about the death crosses, but those death crosses didn't really accumulate to anything. So I just, you know, I could make a video on it, but I already know that, you know, history has now taught me, since we've actually had some context to it, it didn't really do much. So I'll talk about it for sure, but the data right now doesn't suggest it's going to cause anything massive. The 50 over the 200 seems, or the 50 over 100 or the 20 over 100, that seems much more realistic for causing a larger move. And even though the daily technicals are maybe a little more bearish and the 4-hour technicals are a little more bearish as far as Bitcoin's concerned, you just can't really be too bearish right now just because of what's going on in the Bitcoin spot ETF market. If we were not talking about the Bitcoin spot ETF being approved sometime in the next like 2 weeks, Bitcoin would probably be crashing a lot more than it is right now. But I think everybody has frankly learned their lesson about not going too crazy as far as like going against Bitcoin, because the last times they tried that over here, big move down, boom, didn't work out. Tried it down here, hit a level of resistance, tried it, smacked us, came right back up. They tried to smack us again. That we just gave them the middle finger going back up. They tried to smack us. It's just been a smack fest left and right. Okay, it's not working on the shorts part to really drive us down. For whatever reason, you could say it's Bitcoin spot ETF, other stuff. Whereas back in time a little bit, we had these long extended downward trends, came back up to resistance, long extended downward trends, came back up to resistance, and eventually broke out. Right now, we're just kind of in the beginning phases of this kind of consolidation battle. And unless we have some really bad news, Bitcoin's probably not going to have a crazy crash until for maybe a week or so max, maybe 2 weeks max. Just because everybody's really watching to see what happened to the spot Bitcoin ETF. After that news is announced, you will see some very bearish activity after the pump has kind of played its role. You will see a lot of bearish activity. You will see a lot of people really pissed off, and they thought the new bull market was going to go up to $100,000 off of the spot Bitcoin ETF news. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm hoping I'm wrong, of course, but you're going to see a lot of pissed off people that buy the blow up that happens. And the key to that is you can buy the blow up, but you got to be able to sell while the blow up is still happening. Otherwise, you're going to be pissed off when it starts to come back down. All the hype dies down. Everybody that's been talking about it kind of sells some to make some profit, and then it just kind of goes down for like a month or two. Then everybody's gonna be really I'll be here for you guys to help console you, but it's not going to be a pretty experience. See, can you maybe look at the ACE token? What's ACE token? Fusionist, yep. Go. Low market cap of $250 million. It's down 17% today. Ouch. So something happened to it, that's for sure. Let's look at it on TradingView very fast here. So it's a newer token. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go over to the 30-minute chart. Dying back down after the pump. Looks like it's fairly new to Binance since December 23rd. All right. So a newer token, it has to find its footing. Usually when I see these types of tokens, I wish the market cap was a little bit smaller, but it's already up at 250, which means it was probably on some other exchanges before. Yeah, other exchanges before I hopped on Binance. Maybe OKX. See them. ACE. There we go. No, this one's new in here too. Yeah. Maxi. No, it's all the same. Okay. So a new token, I really can't give you a lot of technical analysis about it because it's like 2 days old, 3 days old. There's not really much I can do. But as far as what the company is trying to do, I can elaborate on that for sure. But from a technical standpoint, at lower market cap, if you do believe in it, you don't have to really toss in a whole bunch of money for it to make you rich, that type of thing. Let's go over here to the website. And before that, let's go over here to their X account. A lot of followers, 726,000. Let's see. They didn't post on Christmas, which is weird. They probably had the day off. Mary Ace. Let's see. People, they're tweeting. People are following them. That's good news there. Okay, so Fusionist mainnet endurance, social and game-oriented infrastructure layer with a proposed purpose of engage to earn. Okay. Registrations today, 879 out of 3,000. Registration limit resets in 5 hours, 24 minutes. Probably not trying to overwhelm the servers. I completely understand that. So, can they tell me more about it, though? What is endurance? Okay, there we go. Project Endurance is the decentralized upgrade of Alpha Prestige. We started with Alpha Prestige, a centralized user engagement reward system which successfully got us over 130k highly qualified Web3 users. We would like to take one step further and decentralize it by building our own sidechain, Endurance. Endurance will be capable of storing all users' behaviors and achievements on-chain through our bonus on-chain achievement token setup. By converting the centralized AP points to ACE tokens, Endurance will increase user bonding, transparency, privacy, and security for the entire system. A little bit of weirdness there when it comes to storing all that behavior data, but I guess that who doesn't store behavior data all these days? I really don't have a crazy idea of what this is. They're really not giving me a whole bunch here of information. What is ACE? The main token of Endurance with the goal of allowing users to engage. Okay, they need to fix the website up a lot just to be a little bit better for people like me who have no idea what they're talking about with this type of stuff. But it doesn't look like fraudulent or scammy or anything like that, especially with the level of followers they have and the people that are actually tweeting and stuff like that. They seem to be doing a good job here. I would say this is perfectly fine to invest some of your money into it. Just be as normal. Be very careful about what you invest in. Do more research than I just did. But from what I'd be willing to toss in a few $100, but just because I am does not mean you should be, right? All right, let's go back over here very fast. But too early data wise. For me, usually I just start dollar cost average until you hit some type of goal. That could be anywhere from that type of coin, maybe a lot of followers, $200 to $1,000. 1,000 being really high up there if you ask me, but if with the followers they have, I'm pretty sure they can pump that sucker up as much as they want to. Oh, what's right here? Wolf Miner on the monthly, can it reach $100 currently at 2? It all depends on the market cap here. I don't know if that's a stock or a cryptocurrency, but basically, when it comes to price action and stuff like that, it really just depends on if it has a low market cap. If it has a market cap like under $500 million, then there's a chance it could over the long term. If there's a market cap under like $100 million, there's a good chance within the altcoin season that could really have a large pump up there, especially if they have a big network and they're actually doing something on the blockchain. Yeah, they could get there. But since it's a miner, it's going to be like a pumping effect that's kind of following where Bitcoin is. But you're really just going to have to check the market cap to see if, because if it's like $1 billion market cap, it's probably not going to get up to $100 anytime soon. And hey, Bitcoin Live, happy to see you back, my man. I haven't seen you for a hot minute. I got to probably hit you up on Discord here. Oh, hey, Nicholas, happy to see you back. Bonk continues to go down. How low can Bonk go? Bonk can go down a lot. There's no rules telling when it can go down, how far it can go down. At the moment here, I'd probably say it's going to continue to go down. Probably until I don't like reading these numbers. That's just why I hate these tokens that have such small numbers. The last numbers are probably going to be around 12. Let's just say 13066, somewhere around there. Gonna find your support level. For me though, I'm not gonna try to catch a falling knife like Bonk. See the dad, this is the daily chart. What can I really learn from that? Just it's so short. There's not much there. What I would say is this: there's gonna be a moment where the oscillators and a whole bunch of stuff start to turn bullish for Bonk. That's where I would buy. You don't really see it all too often just because of what's been going on in the price action. Let me pull up the RSI here as well. The last time there was a strong buy signal, it was a while ago now. It was all the way back over here early December. Buy here. It changed character. It was December 13th. So, and even then, it didn't just go skyrocket. It took a few days of consolidating, then it went up. We haven't seen that signal. We had a sell signal here, so it kind of started off right over here. We really didn't have a major selling event, so, you know, because of Bonk being the way it is, it's not terrible. But you saw the sideways action, and before here we didn't really have any data to be going off of any of those numbers. Yeah, so I'd probably say it's going to come down a little bit more. I don't know if it's going to come all the way back down to this order block unless it has something really bad happening. This should be like a 30% drop, shouldn't it? Yeah, 35% drop if it does come back down there, which admittedly can actually happen here. But I would just wait not to try to catch the falling knife because this one's going to be a little more difficult than others. I would be looking just for it to drop, crash, slow down on the crashing, consolidate a little bit. Then it'll just have one day where it kind of pops up a little bit, kind of breaking into a new change of character on the bullish side. That's where I'd most likely be hopping in here and going for more of a tactical buy instead of just a dollar cost average situation here. Dollar cost averaging into something like this that's been booming up so much, it can kind of be depressing if you buy as it's coming down more and more and more. And usually people will give up long before that thing even has an opportunity to turn around, which is why I just say, hey, let it crash, let it consolidate, wait for that reversal, hit that reversal, and make some money off of it. Ooh, excuse me. Let me go over here very fast. Let me see if I can find it. There you go, Ken. I got Ethereum Classic up for you. So weekly chart, nothing really has changed here over the last few weeks, which is kind of sad because I do like Ethereum Classic quite a bit. It is on Robinhood, which is one of those reasons for me. So we're at a level of resistance. We haven't had the best luck breaking out above it, but we're still holding on to this 50-week moving average here. The golden cross for this one has not come about yet. We did have a golden cross back over here, which was kind of sad because nothing happened, and it was all happening during some really nasty moves last year. But we are looking for a golden cross here on the weekly chart. I am excited to see that. The daily chart, we've already had those golden crosses, and you can see the nice moves that they have actually made with Ethereum Classic. But short term, again, rejection, support level for us is around $19. If you're looking to buy, I'd probably be looking to buy around there for a small position. But in reality, you got this working for you right now, basically. I don't know if we're really going to start teetering into the order block. If we get into the order block, it makes me feel like we're going to be completing a breakdown, and that breakdown is really going to be moving us back down, not just to $18, $19, but down here to $17.50, all the way to $16, $17, which is kind of a big fear of mine. So I would say your best opportunity might be to do a little bit of an opening play down here, even on the breakdown, just in case there was some type of larger move with Bitcoin. And then after that, if you continue to come down, wait until we start to play around with the 200 daily moving average. That's where I'd particularly like to strike. Oscillators on this one are not as pleasant, so let me just like squeeze this up for you. Look how nasty that is. There's just like not really much, a lot of false signals going on right here. Stochastic having a lot of false signals right here. I guess there was an okay signal here, an okay signal there, but not really a lot. The moves aren't really making it worth your while. So, you know, you want to see a 5 to 10% move, you're really just seeing a 2 to 3% move, and it's kind of just yucky to kind of watch that. So for me, I would just continue to hold if you guys have a holding position. On the other hand here, if Bitcoin does take that next move down to 38,000, from there you're going to see this come back down again to like $18, $17. That's where I'd be more likely to buy up a larger position, and then you're hopefully just not breaking down below 1770, consolidate a little bit, maybe bounce off the 200, and then from there go a little bit further, because you are going to be looking at a death cross here pretty soon as if we can't get this pump up, which is the same with a lot of other assets out there right now. Because currently, you know, we're talking about Bitcoin being bearish, and I know I hate saying that. It's down. So far, Bitcoin isn't really doing much today. It's had an opportunity to bounce. I told you guys I was in and out of that trade. It may go higher, but, you know, now we're coming back down to the places where you start to buy these types of things. Now, really, it's all about making higher lows, going higher, having that next change of character up here. For me, that's what it's all about. Not so much trying to buy the dips here. I really just want to wait for these reversals. It just makes everything a little bit safer when you're talking about Bitcoin possibly coming down even more over the next couple days. Hey, Trev. I'm glad you had a great time in Vegas. Can you look at AVAX and Spell and just give your outlook on where you think it's going in the short term? Yeah, so AVAX is kind of special here. I know Spell Token already kind of had that pop. Let me actually get out of here though, because we had that breakdown that we were talking about trading a while ago. But look at that, just like Bitcoin, breaks down, hit the order block, buy the order block, and boom, you're good. Or you can buy the change character. You can wait for everything bullish right here. And I guess that was a nice little bullish run, but there was a lot of different opportunities with this one. So as far as AVAX daily chart works out first, I am a little bit more concerned, just like with everything right now, you're resting on top of a 20-day moving average. To me, this symbolizes that Bitcoin and a lot of, well, not Bitcoin, but AVAX is going to have somewhat of a larger move down. Maybe somewhere it's up to 5 to 10%. I'm hoping that it's nothing really much larger than that. For this one, I actually like it just because I like it because I can put on a Fibonacci level. And this is a pretty clean, big boom, right? It was a breakout, consolidation, breakout. Now we're hitting another consolidation. It's nice. There's not too much clumpiness down there like what you get with that Ethereum Classic like me and Ken were just talking about a few seconds ago. And what you're looking at here, back to the daily chart, is that next level of support, kind of around $32.75. After that, you come all the way back down here to $25. That seems kind of extreme, especially since we have the Bitcoin spot ETF news coming out. I would say that it's realistic for us to come back down towards $33, which is still a pretty big move if you ask me. So as we kind of look at this right here, that's about a 22% move. That's, again, if things get really, really bad and we have some type of really bad news coming out our way on top of a Bitcoin drop. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But if it does get down there, I'd be buying around that $33 mark. If I go back over here and I take off this check mark that says fib levels based on log scale, it'll pump it up a little bit more. Let's go over here to the 4-hour chart. And you'll see how we almost hit it just a while ago. For me, this zone right here is going to be your first opportunity to buy in, kind of around the $40 to what, $41 range. I'm a little bit more skeptical of that one myself, just because of what's been going on in the market and kind of how everything looks like it wants to come down just a tad bit more. However, I will say that just below this is like a $38 range to a $37 range. To me, that's my sweet spot. That's where I want to buy. That gives us a little bit more time as a breather to have those death crosses. We come back down. You see everything's bearish right here on the 4-hour. I think that gives us an opportunity to flush out some of the weaker hands out there, give you an opportunity to buy. And then from there, you're still going to be looking for the overall trend to continue because, you know, just zoom out. That trend is going that way. It's not going down at all. I'm sure it's slowed down a little bit, but it's still going up here. So that's probably the way I'd be playing it right now. Just kind of wait it out, see if it comes back down into those lower levels, strike it, wait for the Bitcoin spot ETF news, sell on the news when it pumps up, and then just be a very happy guy. If you're talking about longer term plays, then of course you're just not going to sell off the news. You're just going to be holding and accumulating more and more and more as it goes up higher and higher until of course Bitcoin hits some type of all-time crazy high, which I think we're all really excited about. Excuse me. And let's see, Theta. Where is my Theta? There you go. I haven't traded Theta in a hot minute. So the last buy signal for Theta was a while ago. It looks like it was kind of right back over here. Right here on the 23rd. Looks like it actually ended up doing well. Let me verify that it was actually the 23rd. Sometimes my eyes misplay me. Because there was a couple signals. One back over here on the 21st. The last one to confirm it was over here. Yeah, so it was there, yeah. So you did have that buy signal right there, which ended up having 2 good days, which is pretty nice to see. Now, as far as your levels of support, it looks like the order blocks are kind of around $1 here, which is a pretty big drop from $1.33, as you might imagine. But let me just back up here a little bit. Overall, it's still a strong trend. You're just running into some levels of resistance here, and Bitcoin falling down, and it really helped this one out, as you can imagine. So, that's a Tuesday right now. We still got a while before this week is over. I still think there's an opportunity for this to go higher. My issue right now is that Bitcoin is not going higher, so you're probably going to see this come back down to stabilize back around the 110 level to 115 level. And that's why I might be looking to accumulate a little bit more. At this point, I'm going to go to the hourly chart. Yeah, sell, it went. Theta's not a large market cap token though, so excuse me guys, I need some water, but I don't have any water on me. This is a smaller time frame, so this is not a weekly chart, this is an hourly chart. Yeah, right there on the dot. I don't like the way this is setting up. There you go. I might look to buy this between 110 and 115. I think that'd be a solid place to be accumulating this. If you already have some and you're solid with it, I don't think you have any real large reason to sell if you're looking to hold for the next few weeks. If you're looking to just get up to like maybe $1.50 or something like that, or $1.33 now, and you're afraid of us coming back down below 130 or something, we'll most likely come back down below 130 before everything's said and done. But that overall trend, like I said, is still fairly bullish here. Just don't be surprised if it comes down 10 to 15% before it ultimately makes that, 50 to 60% next leg up here for Theta token. It's going to be volatile for sure. Do I agree that there will not be a huge crash in traditional markets because 2024 is an election year? I don't know. Like, for me, there's so much stuff that goes in my head when I think about elections and all this type of stuff. And part of it is I'm more of a conservative-minded individual. I'm not necessarily like a full-on Trump lover or a Biden hater or a DeSantis lover or a Nikki lover. I usually don't like people that are like forced upon us through like their power and influence. That being said, I think the government will do everything they can to make the economy as good as it can be, or you'll see news organizations talking about how good the economy is at a rapid pace, because they feel like if Trump were to get into office, it'd be such a terrible thing that it's okay to kind of use the institutions of media to kind of persuade people. There's like Fox News on the right, there's MSNBC and CNN on the left side. They all have their kind of agendas and the way to make money, because at the end of the day, they all love their money. My fear about this is that there will be a lot of poor economics going on in America, but we're going to be kind of gaslit into thinking that it's not going to be that bad. So if you guys remember what happened, was it last year or the year before, we had those 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, which is technically a recession. But if you guys recall, there was no recession according to all the people on the mainstream media. This could be Fox News. I don't know what Fox News is saying. I didn't watch them too much during that time. CNN, no recession. MSNBC, no recession. Fox News, I think, had people that said there was no recession, and there was a recession. It was kind of mixed. Fox Business was much more mixed as well. What else was there here? All the major networks, no recession. Even Bloomberg, no recession. And then, let me go over here very fast. This is a longer answer, so I'm sorry, but it's kind of important the way it's like kind of show you how I feel and kind of why I'm mad at it. Because I'm not mad because it's like, oh, it's America, we're supposed to be so much better. That's not why I'm mad about this. I'm mad here. Let me show you. So yeah, okay. See those 2 negative quarters of GDP right there? See what that was? That was that January or July? Let's see right here. Quarter 1, quarter 2, it looks like here. Yeah, quarter 1, quarter 2 of 2022. All right, keep that in mind. Let's go over here. This is an old chart, so just bear with me here. None of this is really important as far as these lines are concerned. So this whole time I was kind of on the fence because I was like, well, this has to be a recession, right? And then you saw Wikipedia change the definition of a recession all of a sudden. Same with Investopedia, which I rave about. I don't rave about them as much anymore because I was kind of like, oh, dude, they could change the definitions on a dime, especially with something as concrete as what is a recession. So let me just draw a little circle here for you guys. So this was all happening over here, March, April, May, then June. This is kind of recession territory, okay? After that, we kind of softened out. Then we had those breakouts and we went a little bit higher. My big thing was, hey, if I would have known, if I would have believed, because I bought some stocks here and I did buy a good amount of assets, like a but it was stuff like Facebook that was crashing, Tesla, which was crashing. Those real big pumpers from the last bull run because of the COVID relief money. I would have been, my mindset would have been a little bit more different about buying here, and I would have been much more heavily buying during this zone because that's when GDP was going back up, and then all of a sudden we started going more positive, and we had two positive quarters. So by the time January rolled around over here with the next 2 quarters, right? First 2 quarters, second 2 quarters, quarter 1 of 23, bullish all of a sudden. Now we've had 2 bullish quarters coming out of a recession. That's the time to buy. My mind wasn't thinking like that because I was partially picked off. I had no idea whether to trust the government or not. And that kind of messed up my thesis for really buying in at some of these prices. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying a lot of stuff around here and not really buying much stuff around here into the breakout. That's not how I traded. So I was trading the Facebook breakout, the Meta breakdown, stuff like that. So what I'm thinking of now is I still think if the economy is bad, I watch a lot of Sunday morning shows. I watch a lot of CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, just so I can kind of have an idea. It's not always going to be like, I'm not like putting them on my TV and listening. It's like, hey, let me check out the YouTube channel. They'll figure out what they want to push out there and I'll kind of look at it. One thing that I see CNN and MSNBC doing a lot, same with CNBC and Bloomberg, because there's that split of like conservative versus liberal TV. They are talking about how the economy is great right now, just absolutely fantastic. I go talk to my friends over, next neighborhood or even my neighbors over here. The economy is not good. It's not great. And then they're talking about how Biden needs to message it better. Message it better. Excuse me. And I don't think it's a messaging problem. I think there just has to be some shifts in the economy to get things back to where they were. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, of course. It's an election year talking about what you're talking about now. It's going to make it much harder for the government to kind of work together to kind of get things rolling, especially because we're trying not to spend as much money. But like Republicans and Democrats, they all love spending money, oogles of it, just as long as it's on the priorities that they want to spend their money on. But this time around, I just don't know if the media is going to go along with the narrative this time, right? Because even bringing this over to Bitcoin here, GDP growth started right back over here in January, right as the market was picking back up, right over here. This little candle right here before things started to jolt up. Bullish GDP, and look at where we're going now. Let me go back over here very fast. Right, positive, 4.9 over the last quarter, and you can see last quarter has been pretty darn good for us. And so I think there will be somewhat of a crash. I think it'll be more with crypto. No, it's going to be more with stocks than crypto. I think crypto has a reason to pump up a historical context. I think earnings and stuff like that for normal corporations, like deal with the SPY, the NASDAQ, they're going to be dealing with some issues, and you're just going to be very picky about what you choose. So if I see something like Nvidia, which you guys know has boosted up a lot, but let me just go back over here. This is the monthly chart here. If I see something like Nvidia crashing down another 60, 70%, I'm going to be buying it the entire way. For me, it feels like they want to pop up another time before eventually having that larger move on the downside. But, let me just zoom out here. They've had to do some splits, as you guys might imagine, because they're going so freaking high. But, any large drop that happens next year, it's going to be an opportunity to buy it, in my opinion. I don't think that any recession is going to be treated as such by the media. And that may seem conspiratorial, I'm not even sure, but basically after everybody denied that we had a recession last year, my whole idea of what the news is has really been like, I don't really trust it as much. But the reason that could be a good thing for assets is because when people feel like there's a recession and people aren't really having a good life and they're kind of annoyed and stuff like that, they don't spend much money. But if they're being gaslit by the media every single week saying, hey, the economy is good, go spend your money, well, what do? They go spend their money, and the economy kind of keeps on churning, even though that person might not have enough money to put in their retirement account or fix, a spare tire, whatever that happens. It's still kind of moving along. So I don't know. I would still expect, if the economy slows next year, I would expect us to go into a full-blown recession. I'm not entirely sure if the media would call it a recession, though. So remember, it's me versus what billion-dollar institutions go into. I was screaming recession over here last year, Bitcoin, whatever, any type of asset. But again, you know, you go back to the news. We go back over here to GDP. Oh no, recession wiki. You can go back in time and you can see the view history or the edit history here. You can see how they changed it from year to year to year. See, right, in economics, a recession is a business cycle contraction that occurs when there is a general decline in economic activity. Recessions generally occur when there's a widespread drop in spending. Yada yada yada. Normally visible in real GDP income. Let's see. In the United Kingdom, the European Union has adopted a similar. Wait, let me see. Okay. Oh, sorry. So in the United States, a recession is defined as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the market lasting more than a few months, okay? They split it apart. It used to be everybody had the same understanding. Now it's the United Kingdom has a definition of 2 consecutive quarters. If you guys have taken any economic class in college or high school, you are trained from those books, 2 quarters, negative GDP growth, recession, all right? And this was the first time where we just were like, we're not. It was wild. Can I go to view history, maybe? Oh, no, we can't go back in time enough. We have to go like 250. Oh, okay. Let's not worry about it. Don't want to go down that road too much because we're talking about cryptocurrency here. But yeah, my faith in the system that kind of guides us, it's in the gutter here. Another reason I'm thinking of moving, well, I am going to be moving in a few years here out of the United States and kind of coming back as I please. But yeah, not what I'm looking for here. And hey, Lee, thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Sorry it took me so much time to kind of explain my whole thought process there, but I do appreciate you being patient here. Yo, Michael, check out Jesus Coin, the only crypto I've known that ever keeps rising against all doubt, leaving disbelievers. Oh, hey, Lee, that one does sound pretty interesting just because of the name here. What do you call it? I know there's going to be a lot of people probably pumping that sucker up. I'll look at it very fast, but guys, just so you know, be very careful about tokens and stuff like that. Yeah, it's down 16-17% today. It only has a $43 million market cap, so you're definitely going to be what do you call it? Definitely just makes you like be careful if you ever buy into a token like this. Be very, very careful. It doesn't seem to be on many exchanges, so Polynex, Bitforex, OpenOcean, and Jupiter. So not really much on here. You're gonna probably have to swap it if you want it. But if you guys want to play along, I mean, go for it. But just be very, very careful about tokens like that. You really don't have to put too much money in there to make it a lot of money down the road. And usually for something like that, you know, I'd probably toss in 50 to 100 bucks. Not really anything crazy. Yeah, you want to be careful with those types of plays. How do I start learning Bitcoin trading? I mean, there's a lot of books and YouTube videos out on YouTube. That's usually what I would start off with. You just kind of want to learn the basics of price action, how to read charts, the different types of charts you could look at. Trading for Dummies, Technical Analysis for Dummies. Those are 2 good books that kind of teach you some of the basics. After you kind of read those books up and have like a general idea of the basics, you could really just go to any YouTube channel and there's a whole bunch of different things that teach you how to trade. For me, I have more of a price action mentality. There are some who trade like that teach you just the basics of breakouts. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do. But generally, I would say a mix of YouTube videos plus what you're going to be learning in those books. And then after that, you want to reapply that information into trying to trade, but not with your real money. You don't want to trade with your real money for a few months. You want to be doing paper trading, which means you're just trading with fake money. And then from there, once you start making a profit with the fake money, you can start putting your real money behind some of your trades and see where it goes. It's a long process. You'll get there someday, but it is a long process and it is not the easiest one. Oh, and hey, Discount Killer. Welcome back from Vegas. Mad at consolidation time? Yeah, sure. I mean, this thing is already pumped up though, so it depends on what type of consolidation you're looking for. There is no consolidation, like it already pumped. um, I mean, at this point, this is what I'll say. You're probably, where's my, oh, there it is, way down here. You're probably hoping it doesn't start to break back down below 98 cents, maybe find a bottom there to consolidate a little bit more before trying to take off another time. Bitcoin, of course, is going to make that a little bit more difficult because it's getting a little bit more bearish. However, let's go back over here to the 4-hour chart. Excuse me. More mixed activity here, not the best, but at least it's kind of moved up over the last few hours, of course. 2 hour, 1 hour. It's going to turn bearish in the 1 hour here. As far as this consolidation time, if Bitcoin can manage to hold these levels and not break down below that $40,000 support, or let me double check here, what's that support at? 40,222. I want to give you an accurate number there. I would say you still have a good chance of it actually holding around these levels, even breaking down before trying to make that next leg up. But for right now, I'm pretty sure it probably already hit some type of Fibonacci level. Stop. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a little off. That's okay. For something like this, it might take a few days. Because usually after it has these types of pumps, it'll either form a double top reverse, or it'll try to go a little bit higher here with a lot of kind of wacky moves. I'd be more scaling out at this point. Maybe it'll have something like that, but that's been a while ago here on the 4-hour chart. This one's definitely a little bit more puzzling than I would like to admit, though. Because everything on the oscillator side is bullish in the daily chart. You just see what's happening with Bitcoin and you're a little bit more concerned, right? But if you were to take Bitcoin out of the equation here, you see the breakout, you see everything screaming up for the past few days. It looks like back up until Monday was when you had that buy signal coming in from everything, at least. Maybe Sunday or Saturday, the buy signals came from the stochastic, but I wouldn't be buying here personally just because of Bitcoin, but I might be looking just to do some day trades, and those day trades would really come out of what you see on these oscillators, like buy here, buy here, buy here. That's a few hours of really good trades here. Go back over to the hourly chart, buy. So you can start buying right here, or you could wait for the MACD to turn over, in which case you get the buy signal right here. Kind of a wacky move that happened, of course. But I would still say the 4-hour and 1-hour charts are probably going to be better to trade rather than the daily charts right now. You do know, though, that everything looks bullish going forward. It's just that Bitcoin's kind of like, hey, Bitcoin calling, we're trying to go back down here. Why are you going up? But yeah, $1.01. Yeah, this is the level for me to start scaling out at here. And if it gets back up to maybe $1.10, then I'd probably be out of the entire position here unless you wanted to reopen something. Because I originally told you guys I was buying Matic at like 96 cents on the way back over here. Was it over here? I don't recall exactly when I told you guys I was buying Matic. I probably have a video out on it somewhere. But for me right now, oh, this is a 4-hour chart. That's right. Early December. Yeah, right over here, 85 for that pop right up there. And I sold that one. But yeah, it might just come back down a little bit, maybe to $99 or something like that. But as long as Bitcoin isn't like just falling down, crashing, I think you have an opportunity to send this back up towards $110, $115. And that's where I would probably start to do my final scale outs. I tend to sell too early, so you might even add 120 in there as an extra scale out level. And as it continues to pump up, you can be more likely to buy in there. But this one is a little bit more puzzling to me just because of it's going up when Bitcoin's kind of on the opposite side. But daily oscillator is bullish, 4-hour oscillator is bullish-ish. 2 hours still bullish, getting neutral. 1 hour is getting bearish, but still I would say neutral at this point in time. So it might need to consolidate for at least a day. 1 to 2 days. I'd probably would say close to 1 day. That'll give you another opportunity if you wanted to buy this breakout with a cheaper price. Then you can kind of hook it back up to $1.10, $1.15, even $1.20 if you so desire. But I still think it has some momentum left in it. It's just that, we got to hope that Bitcoin doesn't really fight around with its 200 too much. We kind of just bounce and go higher. That type of stuff is what you want to have happen alongside of it to really get up to that 115 to that 120 level. Let's see. Too much G-genning on Solana. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people talking about Solana just because it's been pumped up by every influencer out there over the last few weeks. Let's go over here to For Me page. Ben Armstrong's been pumping it up quite a bit. This guy's been pumping it up quite a bit. Whale Dino Bit. Anybody else? The heck is that? I just have no idea what's going on now. There's one. Solana, Sensitive. Oh yeah, Sensitive Crypto. Yeah, so it's just been pumped up quite a bit here. Merry Christmas. Yeah, so it's just been pumping. It's been getting pumped up quite a bit. For me, like I said before, I've sold off a good chunk of my Solana, kind of around the 120 price range. I'm happy with where I sold off a large chunk. I still hold some. Maybe it goes higher. I can sell off even more. For me, like, when I see something like blowing up like that, I can't help but take some profits because I know eventually it's going to come back down a little bit and I can just buy some up and I have a profit and I own the same amount of Solana as I did in the beginning. Or I could even own more Solana, I guess, if I don't take the profit and spend it towards something, but you got to pay those taxes. But yeah, long-term Solana seems like it'll be fine. It has a massive social media engine behind that sucker. Really what you're focusing on with Solana is going to be more of day trades and things like that. Here, I know I made a video on this subject here. What did I say about this? So you can see what I said about Solana 2 days ago. Let me put my headphones on here. Let me raise up the volume just a tad and let me turn off my music. Set the audio so I can hear what it's talking about. There we go. Let me find out what I said about Solana here. So you guys will hear me. It might be a little bit less than what my normal volume is, so just bear with me here. Great week while I was off at vacation. So this is me talking about Bitcoin. Now, here's the issue as far as you guys are concerned with the day-to-day of Bitcoin price action. There's a good chance that over the next couple of days, Bitcoin takes another big drop and it just brings us back down to $42,000, maybe even less. And here we went down to $42,000. Oh wow, even a little bit less. But I'm just gonna skip over Solana. Okay, chart. You guys had a few buying opportunities. I guess the last one off of my indicators was back on October 2nd. So that was a long. Partially, I just don't like the swing trading atmosphere at this point. So what I've been doing is a lot of day trading and trading those breakouts in the 1 and 4 hour charts. As we kind of look at Solana here, we're up towards 116 bucks right now. We're at another level of resistance, just like Bitcoin. Personally, I've actually started to touch the long-term Solana in my account. So that's the type of stuff I'm saving for the next time that Bitcoin hits an all-time high stuff. I'm actually shaving some of that off right now. And so basically I was shaving it off during the pumping day. Be surprised if many people break structures. They seem to be doing fairly well so far as it at this point. Like I said, I am actually actively selling my positions. 4 hour chart. Keep an eye on that MACD, keep an eye on that stochastic. We're so high up at this point, we're just going to be waiting for that breakdown, and that breakdown is going to be fairly easy to see, I would say. Basically, you're just looking for a few different trend lines like that. And once you start to break down below that, maybe even a death cross off of the daily charts, which is not going to happen for a while here, guys. All right. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's go back over to Solana. Oh, there we go. We haven't had the breakdown just yet, so there's still an opportunity, I would say. Maybe we had a small term breakdown right here off of some of these moves. I think this is probably what people are talking about there. No, we still managed to hold up, actually, so I was wrong about that one. But what do you call? Yeah, so I still think Solana's fine. Am I buying it up right now? No, I'm kind of waiting for an easier opportunity to buy. Maybe I could buy it around $100. That's much more where I'd prefer to buy Solana, not kind of above that zone personally. But you know, to each their own, different strategies. That's why I was selling. This is a 4-hour chart, but that's why I was selling during this day. It's this day? Yeah. And what why I said in that video, it may even go higher, but I just want to take some profit. And guess what? It went much higher there. I sold around like 106. Oh, I did not sell at 120. My bad, guys. Around $106, something like that. Popped up a little bit higher, up to 125. Oh, that's what I was thinking of, 120. And then, of course, it went down even more. So, you know, everybody has their own strategy, but I'm just like, man, I want to take my profits before I get lost a little bit, because I knew some of you guys know this as well. Like when the holidays come around, you just don't have enough time to be on your charts all day. And I'm usually at my computer dealing with my charts. My family and we went to see The Color Purple because my grandmother really wanted to see the movie with the family, and she chose that. She chose that movie. I was pleasantly surprised with the movie. Some of the actors I really liked, some of them I didn't. But I'm not usually a Color Purple type of person. It's like a movie I watched when I was younger, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good movie. The musical, not as good, but it was still just, I was happy to be with the family and talking with them, I guess, right? Or just hanging, since you don't really talk too much at the movie theater. But, you know, before the movie started, I was checking on all the charts to see what the heck was going on, because Bitcoin was having a little bit of a bad day yesterday, too. So, you know. But let me go over here very fast. Crypto RS is pumping up Solana. I mean, everybody's pumping up Solana. I don't know if you guys have been aware of this, but there's been this huge... What do you even call it? There's been this huge social media grouping of crypto influencers. They've all started to get together and collude about making some type of really big power structure where there's going to be like a media empire kind of around all of them. I mean, maybe they can do it. I don't know. I'm skeptical of all of it, to be honest. But a lot of them have been getting together to do something big. I'm not the type of guy that likes to join some type of company like that. I may be a guest on one of their shows or something in the future, but I like to be like actually owner of a company and deal with all the other crap. No, that's not me. I like to be able to not work for days on end if I don't want to, because something's going on in my life. I did not have that when I was in the private sector. I would not have it here in the decentralized sector, so to speak. But yeah, overall, keep an eye on what's happening there, because it is pretty big. Just keep an eye on what like BitBoy says, or do I have him back on here? I think Tom has been getting in there more and more. People on that other group have been like messaging his stuff. So it feels like something as big is going on. I could possibly just ask about it, because I know I have context, or at least some of these people. But it's just not something I really want to hop into. It's going to be weird to see where that goes. But I think they're all just looking to band together, have a company, and basically they could have massive media contracts. So maybe their sponsorship deals will be much, much larger. I think that's kind of where it's going right now. You think of BitBoy Crypto, or Ben Armstrong as he's known now. He does have a lot of money coming in from stake. I think it's called stake.us, whatever it is. So it's like crypto gambling, you know. You know, to each their own. I know he's making a buttload of money off of that, but to me, it's just like, I don't want to promote gambling. People, the most I did to I promoted gambling was when I was in Vegas, and I mean, I guess I gambled quite a bit of money. It was weird because this time when I went to Vegas, guys, I did not gamble much when it came to slots. I think I only gambled $1,000 in slots, and I think I won like $200. Let me go over here. Yeah, I think I just gambled every time I go to MGM, I look back to see how much money I spent and stuff. I'll move it over here. I don't know if there's any special account numbers I need to worry about. I don't think so, but... Michael, win-loss tax information. Yeah, so here we go. So you guys can see in the month of December, I made $200 off of gambling. Now I actually won a lot more than that because I won a lot on craps. But table games don't follow your exact numbers, I don't think. Especially because I was at Circa when I don't have. Well, I have a card with Circa, but I didn't give them my loyalty card. But as far as MGM properties, I thought it was pretty fun. You know, I made a little bit of money, and I was fine with that. Overall, for the year though, I lost money. So let that be a reminder. I lost $86. I only gambled 2,600. I'm not like big on slot gambling too much, but you know what? For the hours of time I spent gambling, you know, not too bad. And you know, before my mom passed, most of this gambling was all with her because I let her use my money to gamble, and she ended up doing okay for herself. Mandalay Bay is just me. All the rest of these were my mom because I gave her a nice little hefty budget to go have fun and gamble with. But yeah, so Vegas was definitely a good trip. Bitcoin recovery 69,000. When Bitcoin surpasses that, Bitcoin will truly be in the green. I mean, there is going to be bag holders up until that point for sure. For sure, there's a lot of people who, who definitely don't like to buy when everything is boring. They tend to buy when everything is very exciting, and they end up paying for that just a little bit. But it's just the way the market works. Those people who are buying at those highs, they're buying their crypto from us, people who have bought a long time ago, and we're looking for somebody to trade us stable coins for our cryptocurrency. It's as simple as that, and it works out pretty well. So as long as there's people like that in the world, we'll have opportunities to sell, and sell we will, right? But okay, everybody, I'm going to call it a night here. I got to go help my sister. She's visiting from college. I'm going to go help her clean up the kitchen upstairs, and we're going to make some homemade bread for sandwiches tonight. I've been in my own homemade bread phase, and it's been tasty. It makes the house smell very good. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you guys see any of my videos pop up, please just click on them and watch them for a few seconds. I'm trying to get the algorithm kickstarted to like viewing my content. So as I post more videos over the next few days about like Solana technical analysis, Bitcoin technical analysis, Ethereum technical analysis, please, if you just see them anywhere on YouTube, just click on them and watch them from beginning to end. It has a huge effect on the channel, and I'm just now starting to realize that. If you guys don't click on those videos, nothing really goes forward, and YouTube just says, oh, nobody likes this guy's content. Let's not promote it, okay? So thank you guys very much, and happy holidays, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Getting back on the groove of things. Thanks.